Hello, I'm Sam from Jessups His. The focus of my channel is to share and educate on how to buy less, buy better. It's not necessarily about buying less things, it's about buying something that fits its purpose perfectly and serves you for as long as possible. One conversation I find myself having a lot recently with my menswear friends is the topic of what we've purchased recently. And in most recent times, I've had that conversation and been met with what I thought was quite an interesting response. A short, sort of sheepish reluctance to tell me that they'd actually been on a bit of a hiatus from purchasing clothing and footwear. And I, noticeably less sheepishly, agreed that I too had been on a bit of a break from buying things. But it was this hesitation, this quiet attitude towards not buying things that has left quite an interesting impression on me. I asked myself, why are we being quiet about not buying? Shouldn't we be proud that as a collective we've made good decisions and good choices in our clothing, and that our clothing and footwear are lasting a long time? But we never talk about things that way. So today I wanted to make a video about some of the reasons why it's a great thing that you may not have purchased something in a while, and why it might just be the best way for you to figure out your personal style and come to love your wardrobe that little bit more. Starting off with the main reason, the sort of dark horse reason why not purchasing things is a really good idea, which is you can actually begin to develop a sort of unique personal style. When you've only got a certain number of clothes and you live in a climate like I do that's very diverse, it gives you a lot of opportunities to get deep into your wardrobe and really explore the different combinations of clothes that you own and start to understand that wardrobe more. It's like leveling up, but very slowly. You're growing your skill, your intuition of what you can wear and when you can wear something to be as comfortable and as appropriately dressed as possible, and as I often focus on, as functionally dressed as possible. But you do have to put in a bit of effort to actually get an outcome, because if you've got a limited wardrobe but you only wear the same t-shirt and jeans every day, then you're never going to explore, and you're never going to explore what you've got and what you own. And when it's wearing things in as many different combinations in terms of fabric and colors and textures as possible, this helps you learn what works, but also crucially what doesn't work. And it's this equally important learning of what doesn't work as this development, this leveling up, that helps you build that intuition of what does work. But it also makes it easier to start to think about what you may need and what you may want to add to your closet next, those gaps in your wardrobe. It's this sort of experimentation that has led to some of my most interesting and ultimately now my most regularly worn fits, and therefore it has become my personal style. I think a great example to share with everyone that is working fairly well in terms of an item that's maybe a little bit unusual, but I've worn a lot because of my investigation into my personal style, is my V090 vest from Informale, which I would say is very much part of my personal style these days, at least in summer. But it definitely wasn't at one stage, so how did that happen? Well, at first I started wearing the vest because I liked the pockets and it eliminated the need for me to carry a bag around, which I thought was great. And from there, I just started combining things with it. You can start off with a shorts and a t-shirt. It's an easy combination. It's summer. It's kind of funky, easy to wear. I own a longer version of those shorts, so let's just transfer into the longer version of those shorts, and now I'm more comfortable wearing the vest with trousers. And of course, I love wearing trousers, and I particularly love chinos. So next, let's try wearing it with chinos. I'm not changing anything on the top, the same t-shirt, the same vest. And now I guess if they fit with chinos, then I guess they can fit with jeans too, right? So let's go with a pair of indigo jeans, and they seem to work well. So casually, that's all your outfits covered. Basically all your normal colors, from greens to beiges to blues, and I've sort of combined them in a way where I can very comfortably now understand how that vest works or doesn't work. And to me at least, it all seems to work really well. As for the favorites on that scale of working quite well, I really like the beige fits most. I like that super monochromatic look. And if I changed the t-shirt from a white t-shirt to a navy t-shirt and went sort of the other way monochromatic with the dark jeans, that super high contrast look, that's quite cool as well. Shoes of course make a difference across all of these outfits, and you can add a layer of both complexity, but you can also learn something with what kind of footwear goes with what kinds of things. Dark brown suede works with anything and everything that I've owned, and that's why I often wear it, but it equally so does a white leather sneaker. So depending on the fit and depending how beige or how monochromatic I want to be, those are my two go-to options. But of course I have other footwear that I wear all the time as well. Both go with any of the trousers and t-shirt combinations as well. Those outfits, those simple outfits, have basically covered me for 2 or 3 seasons until I started to get a little colder, where I needed to add a jacket or a knitwear, and then I just added the knitwear under. You just build from there. And then I started to use it as a layer, either under jackets or over jackets, and some of those worked well and some of them worked not so well. For example, I tried it with my Private White VC jacket, but immediately that just seemed a bit silly to me because there's already so many pockets on that jacket. As with this jacket, there's already got 4 on the outside. I don't need to add 4. And the work shirt only has 2 pockets, and so the vest adds a lot of versatility. I've also tried using it in a bit more of a formal context with something like pleated trousers and a sports coat. It does look okay, but I feel it looks a little bit too old-fashioned for my style, so I tend not to wear it in this context. All this experimentation, all this trial and error has allowed me to grow and appreciate this vest and understand it a bit more and begin to love its versatility, which is the second point I wanted to discuss. One of the best things about our clothes and shoes, for me at least, is the memories that we make in them and with them. And with a child on the way, it has become even more important and front of mind for me. I really want my upcoming child to remember things that I wear throughout my life. To remember the time that we were doing something and I had the vest on. And equally, I want the same thing. I want those memories of when I was wearing that vest and doing something with my future child in those clothes. And it's on this point that I wanted to say something that, for me at least, was really hard to realize and hard to hear for many, many years. You may have a favorite thing that sits in the back of the closet, but it is no good sitting in that closet waiting for the perfect occasion, or even for the right occasion to wear it. That occasion is now, and the reason is it's today. So put on that favorite thing, get to grips with the idea of putting some love, putting some patina, putting some memories into that clothing. But also remember that those marks, that patina, those memories that you makes that clothing yours, truly yours. And I'd encourage anyone out there that has something in their closet that they're waiting for a special occasion to wear, to put it on, to wear it and to love it. Or maybe accept that you don't love it, and maybe that thing was a bit too special, and by special you were trying to say that it doesn't really suit you. And that's fine. Wear it, make that decision, move that thing on, and then find something that fits that special to you and actually suits you and your personal style. Which brings us to our final point. By having a break between buying things, you can really thoroughly plan what you need to purchase next. As we wear and love our things, we start to understand where they fit and where they maybe don't fit in our wardrobe, be it from an aesthetic purpose, or that it doesn't fit, as in like it just doesn't fit you, or that you don't like the color, or whatever it might be. You start to understand what that is and what you have, as well as what you don't have and what you actually might want to buy to fill that space, or equally to add some versatility that you don't currently have. I've been thinking of an example, and I'm actually really enjoying my wardrobe currently as far as my hashtag menswear clothing goes, but I could think of something. I mean, there are lots of things that I really like, things that I think are really cool, but nothing that I super need or something that fits my wardrobe, so I did come up with this example, and that is a pair of boots. Now, it might seem like I've got quite a few pairs of boots, and I do, but what I really don't have is a pair of boots, a bit like my Alden LHS loafers, a pair of boots that are absolutely indestructible for the impending stomping and running around after the upcoming child. Nothing I currently own really suits this purpose, and I also love the idea of creating memories in these boots. And if this child has tiny hobbit feet like mine, they may even inherit the boots in 50 years or so, or a father can dream anyway. It might not be the biggest need, but for me, it's something that I'm really interested in, and I love the idea, so for me, that's good enough. Boots to be revealed soon, by the way, so keep an eye out. Let me know if you've got any suggestions or guesses down below. So to wrap things up, not buying new clothes for a while can actually be great for a few key reasons. It forces you to dive into your existing wardrobe and get creative, and this experimentation leads you to develop your own personal style that over time you learn what works and what doesn't. Secondly, and importantly to me, it helps you create memories with these garments, and that memory gives these garments more meaning and more value to you over the lifetime of that thing in your closet. And finally, taking a break from purchasing allows you to thoroughly assess what gaps exist in your wardrobe so that your next purchases can be more purposeful additions rather than just buying for the sake of buying. It gives you time to truly plan and consider what will provide the most value and versatility. So embrace a little purchasing hiatus. Use it as an opportunity to explore your wardrobe, curate your wardrobe, and strategically plan for additions down the road, because your style and you will be better for it. Thanks very much for watching. Links are in the description as always. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Cheers.